new Netflix show. It's a movie, documentary. It was an hour and a half. It's just one episode. It was called Our Father. And it's about this guy who was very religious, but he was a fertility doctor. So he would help women get pregnant that were having trouble getting pregnant or that needed to be artificially inseminated or couldn't have kids, so they needed someone else's sperm or whatever. The whole process, which I didn't know.
Is this with Jason Bateman?
No.
I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, it must have been something else. Yeah,
Sorry.
And I didn't know this, but most sperm donors, they don't usually use a sperm donor more than 3 times.
Right.
I thought you could just go in there, pop some out, get paid, and you could go there every single week.
That's what I've been doing. They haven't flagged me.
Oh, that's what we've been doing. The same place we go, and I later found out just this weekend it was actually a Wendy's. It wasn't even a.
Wow.
We were using the Frosty.
That's why they kept letting us.
Yeah, that's why we only got free Frosty coupons. We didn't get paid cash.
Well, take it. Honestly,
at this point, you have to.
Wait, so what?
They only allow sperm donors to donate 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Because usually wherever you're donating it or the fertility clinic is in a close
general
area.
Population.
So you don't, cause incest by having, 100 different of the same siblings that could end up dating and not know each other.
I wonder how often that happens. Because of
it happens apparently.
And I bet you they implemented that rule because of some fuck ups where all of a sudden they were letting that go, and then they're like, hang on a second, we're starting to look a lot alike as a town.
That's what happened. You know what kickstarted this whole story was that the 23andMe. Because they do a DNA test and then it shows them how many siblings they have. This girl found out that she had 24 siblings.
Oh my God!
So
this guy was just popping them out for the town.
He was the doctor at the fertility clinic, and he was using his own sperm that he would masturbate to in the other room, fill the needle with it, and then inseminate women. And they thought they were getting some other guy's sperm because there's a whole thing that you choose the type of person.
Whoa!
Hair color, skin color, all the traits and genes, characteristics that you want.
It took them that long until enough babies popped out.
30.
This is not what I wrote down.
30 years later, and these people are all half siblings. At the end of the documentary, there's a ton, but I won't say the final number. But during the documentary, there was 54 different half siblings.
Oh my God!
And the guy hasn't spent one day behind bars.
Really?
There's no law against it.
Oh my God!
There's no law against it.
What a loophole!
Yeah, this guy found a loophole, and he's apparently a part of a cult member of a very crazy religious group that believes you have to get your seed into the world and spread it everywhere. And that was his way of doing it. What
a psychopath!
Yeah. But there's 54 half siblings that found out about each other, and then
were they interviewed in the documentary?
Oh yeah, it was basically following around the ringleader of it. They went on Dr. Phil. They did a whole bunch of stuff, but it was all because 23andMe. People start submitting their DNA,
right? And
now that this came out, this guy's name is all over the place, and more people are going to see it. If their parents went to see him before they were born, they might do the test, and then this could get into the hundreds of half siblings from this one guy.
Did any of them accidentally date or anything because they were in the same town?
Not that they said, but they were talking about that.
There's probably a couple slip ups that
there's probably a few.
We're not going to bring it up on camera.
It's like, hey, this 23andMe, did you get it back? It says we have the same dad. It's got to be. We paid $100 for these.
No. Luckily, we never crossed paths. That never happened.
Yeah, turns out a whoopsie.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that is wild. That's a story that you can't even believe is real. That's straight out of a movie. I'm sure there is. I think there is a Jason Bateman
movie about that. Is he a fertility doctor?
No, I'm completely. There's something that's they mix up the sperm or something, and it's a mess. But it's not.
If it was a Jason,
people.
If it was a Jason Bateman movie, they really need to work that into a prequel to Ozark. That would be nice.
I think it's something. I think it's a movie with him and Jennifer Aniston, and I think that she's trying to get pregnant via the same way, and I think somehow his sperm gets in the mix, and they were friends beforehand or something. But then it turns out they were meant to be together and have a bit. I assume. I never saw it, but anyways.
But
I digress.
But if
that's crazy, man.
If Jason Bateman put on a brown wig, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between him and Jennifer Aniston.
Both hot.
Both
super hot.
Both super hard nipples.
Super hard nips. Great actors.
Yep.
I would.
Yeah. And then, anyway, back to our...
Sorry.
We just needed to get that out there. Jason Bateman, we'd love to have you on the pod.
Yeah, please. Respond to my DMs.
Yeah. So the guy basically ended up fathering 54 half siblings, but there's no federal law. They kind of passed one after the fact. The thing that they got him on, which
what about lying, like as a doctor to your patients?
You think it'd be fraud, but then these people were saying there was also rape, and I'm like, all right, even we were like, I don't know, it's a bit of a stretch calling it. It was non-consensual, but it wasn't. That's a whole different story. But
yeah, it's a different type of non-consent. Like they got a case for that for sure. I mean, it's a different type of non-consensual behavior where like I did not consent to this. So like by definition that probably would be considered that.
They basically passed a law where this happened in Indiana where they do
thank God they started there.
There was something about lying on fertility, something like they made it specific to him because it wasn't something that was there. Like
there should be certain laws that are implied where they're like if you do something like that and they're like, well, technically you didn't say that we can't, and they're like, you knew you couldn't do that.
Yeah, you knew that
we're locking you up.
Yeah,
you fucking dumbass.
It's like if somebody's coming and doing door-to-door multi-level marketing scheme sales with some knives. Like, the knives aren't meant to kill somebody, but it can damn well happen.
Right, exactly. Like you get up, you smack your teacher in the face. You're like, you didn't say I couldn't do that. But you know that it's probably going to get you in trouble and is against the rules.
The one thing that they did get him on was obstruction of justice because he lied in some type of interview that he initially did like before they got him in, like before he eventually admitted to it. So they got him on a felony. It was a level 6 felony of obstruction of justice. They fined him $500. He got no jail time.
Oh my God.
I was like, how does somebody not get jail time for a level 6 felony?
I don't understand that too, because the level of lies on that, like wouldn't a doctor lose their license or
for medical malpractice?
Or like what if you are diagnosing somebody with something and you purposefully tell them, you give them, hey, I'm giving you Tylenol, but really I'm giving you Advil, and you purposely lie. This guy purposely is like, I'm inseminating you with all of these characteristics from a random donor, and lied, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
So
and that's what I thought, that would be an open and shut case, that it was fraud, because not only that, when you go and you donate sperm and stuff, you have to fill out a whole medical history form. If you have anything, like you wouldn't be able to do it. If you're diabetic, they'd be like, nope, you're out.
Bunch of bullshit.
So who knows if he skated right around that process. So it's a pretty wild. I highly recommend it. It's only an hour and a half long.
I'm checking that out.
There's a lot of talk about sperm. There's a lot of talk about this old guy, and it's pretty wild that there's no federal law saying that that's illegal.
Yeah, we'll have to check the laws in New Jersey.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go down to the sperm clinic that we'll have to find a new one.
Yeah,
since I don't think we're allowed in the last one anymore.
No, not after your incident. Well, but we will talk about that in a different episode.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But yeah, I mean, check it out. It's called Our Father. It's a very
hilarious name for that too.
Brilliant, because the guy is very religious. They talk about the religious cult and his like things before it, but then it's everybody's father in the thing too.
Such like a cute, quirky name that works perfectly for a horrific crime.
That needs to be one of the things that you would see like when watching cable TV, come like dancing in from the side, like Our Father coming up at 7:00 Eastern, 8:00 Central.
This would be fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah. Then it just shows the guy's face on there and like smiling and everything, and then they get on there and it's just
local doctor lies and father's 54 illegitimate children.
Yep, and then he even said that he doesn't consider them his children.
Let's turn back on American Idol.
This is a little too much for me tonight, Harry.
A little heavy, I think, for Jimmy.
Yeah.
7.
Let's turn on American Idol and just look at Katy Perry's tits.
She's got a rack on her.